Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
What is the most remarkable thing that has happened to you as a Rotarian?
That has happened. I have to. Well, I had a practical lesson in humility as a Rotarian. I think that was at the Calgary Convention in 1986, or I can't remember the actual year now. It was in Calgary in Canada. And of course, in the House of Friendship, that's a melting pot for all Rotarians across the globe. And we were there, and they were just having conversation and all that. And there was this person, another Rotarian, who was attending. And of course, the first time you want to introduce yourself, where are you from, and all that. And we did that, and he asked me where are you from, and I said Nigeria, and I said I wanted to make an impression on him. I told him how many hours I had to travel from Nigeria to Lagos and all that, and so it was now his time to introduce himself, and I asked him who he was. He told me, and how did you get here? And he told me that he brought his personal jet. And if you look at this man, you wouldn't even think he had money. This was a man that came to the convention in his private jet, and I thought that was a striking example in humility, that you don't have to brag about with whatever God has given you. Just be humble, and eventually people will get to know you. And that made an impression on me, and it's something I carry about every time. So that was
interesting.
A cool time for me.
Now, on the day you were announced as the district governor nominee for D9111, how did you feel? What were some of the things that you were contending with? On that day, after the announcement was made.
Yeah, it was a myriad of feelings which I cannot really capture in words. I thought, well, this was a moment I never thought would come, because honestly, I never thought I would get to that point. Not that I wasn't competent to be, but it never crossed my mind that my thinking then was just to be a Rotarian, do whatever you can do at whatever level you are to make your impact. You don't have to aspire to the highest office, but probably that's the way God wanted it, and it brought a sense of fulfillment to me, no doubt, but it also brought a sense of why haven't you looked at this direction for this long? But then God's time is always the best. So it was a mixture of so many feelings. And I want to thank Rotary District 9110 for considering me fit for that decision.
Okay. All right. I know that 2025 is still, it is still far away, so to speak. But what should Rotarians expect from Rotarian Wole Kukoyi when he eventually mounts the saddle as a district governor, as the first, because you're going to be the first district governor of D9111? Yes. So what should Rotarians be looking forward to?
Well, good question, and this is something that has been agitating my mind. The moment I was announced as DGNN, let me say that I intend, God helping me, to put in everything that I have for the service of Rotary for that year. Everything, financial, physical connections, everything that I have been endowed with, either as a Rotarian or as a medical doctor. I think the new district deserves the best, and we're trying to, will certainly establish a solid foundation for that district for others who will be coming after me. So you can expect the very best. It's going to be another Koshelleri, I know.
I like that.
And going by what our current Koshelleri has done, I mean, you just have to give it to her that she's scored so many firsts and on the positive side, and she actually is going to be a good example of what to expect in 2024, 2025. We have to establish that district on a very solid foundation to the extent that Rotary will become the organization of first choice for anybody that wants to join the service organization.
Okay. God, other than God, there's no other person that we can point to and say, oh, this person is perfect. What would you like, or what would you want to see changed in and about Rotary?
That's a difficult one, a difficult nut to crack.
Thank you, sir.
Well, like we said, nobody is perfect. And if we relate to people on that reality, then I think we won't go wrong. And that is to tap the potentials of everybody, of everyone. Don't consider anybody as being either inferior or whatever. Let's tap into the potentials of everybody and try and bring them together to make sure that we have not a perfect district governor, but a perfect system that will run for a long time. So
there's no arguing the fact that God has been nice to you. What more do you want from God?
Well, thank you for saying that because whatever we have is from God. The way we live, we move, and everything belongs to God. And I want to thank Him for the endowment that He has given unto me. And one can only be grateful to God and thankful by releasing yourself to God for Him to direct the affairs of your life. Once that is done, I don't think one needs to ask anything further than that. Just release yourself to God in every service that you do. Let God be the Alpha and the Omega and be the one to direct your affairs. In Him we live, in Him we move, and in Him we do everything that is humanly possible.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wole Kukoyi, for your time.